There's three things about the creation, and that's really what I want to leave you with. The three things about the creation is God created everything with value, purpose, and identity. Everything, the flowers, the animals, the dirt, the fish, the birds, everything to this day, which is like, come on, how is there not a God? Welcome to the new Storytime with Sirece, where Bible stories come to life. Through the gift of storytelling, we'll revisit powerful moments from God's word that encourages, inspires, and strengthens our faith. So let's go back in time to uncover timeless truths and prepare our hearts for an eternity with Jesus. Are you ready? Let's begin. And now, let's all welcome your host, Sirece Thomas. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Storytime with Sirece. I am super excited to be back here. You know, you just got to start over. And like I said, I'm super excited to go into the Bible stories because I don't care how many times you read those Bible stories. These people over 2,000 years ago were experiencing a life that I'm just like, imagine. Like when I was taking a walk yesterday, I was like, imagine God just like imagine me seeing a burning bush. And I'm just like, what's going on here? But what I love about that story, and I read it a little different today, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is just the intro, is Moses was doing what he was called to do at the time. He was tending to his flock. And it literally said it wasn't until he looked away from what he was so used to doing, that every single day, this is what I do, this is who I am. It wasn't until he looked away that he noticed the burning bush. I said, now I've read this story many times, but it was that moment that the Lord said, you got to look away sometimes from the normal things that you think you've gotten down. Oh, this is what I do. This is how I think. This is my life. This is every day. And sometimes he's like, I need you to take a moment and just consider that I could switch everything up, that I could just turn it all around, and just do something completely different. And the reason why we sometimes miss it is because we are so focused on what we know. This is what I do. This is how it works. But God doesn't work with the laws of the world. And he's not a logistical thinker like us. He doesn't give us like me, I need plan A, B, C, D. He just don't work. Like his timing is not our timing. The way he thinks is not our, you know what I mean? So the moment Moses looked away and he saw the burning bush, that is when he heard God. And that is when God said, take your Jordans off. He said, take your shoes off. This is now holy ground. And it's so funny because I'm like, wasn't he standing there for a while, but it only became holy ground after he acknowledged that the Lord was there? You see, okay, so I'm super excited to get into these stories. All right. So obviously, I'm just going to go story by story, big or small, and we're going to have a time. And I'm super excited, especially to do this in a live form. Kind of feel like I've got a nice little studio audience. Friday live at lunch. Some of you are working, and so I'm excited to join you guys at this time. My kiddies get home right around after 3 p.m. It gets a little crazy over here. So this is where the Lord has guided me in this season for this time and this day of the week. And what I'm also super excited to kind of launch simultaneously as we talk as teens and adults and seasoned saints, I am going to be launching the kiddie Sunday school version of Storytime. You guys might have saw about a year ago, I just put like a demo Sunday school video out there because if y'all know me, you know I love the kids. I love the kids. And I'm going to do the same story, but in a 5-minute with visuals. And you know me, I'm going to put on a bright shirt and talk to the kids. And that's going to launch. It's not going to be live. It's just going to be posted in a different playlist on my YouTube channel every Sunday for the kids that can tune in anytime. My demo seemed to go really well. My demo was like, it was like a 10, 11-minute video. So it was very long for the kids. And so it was just me kind of testing some things out. I tested it out with like my nieces and nephews. So we are going to be diving into the stories of the Bible for the little ones and for all ages. And I'm super excited. And Storytime with Cerise will still include interviews with other people discussing the Bible story of that week. So that's also another thing. I will have hosts. I will have people again to converse with about the Bible story, a Bible story that resonates with them, and I'm very excited about that. So, as you know from some of the past story times, which were incredible, we got people to come on the show. Maybe you'll see some familiar faces. Maybe you'll see some new faces. Hey, Cuddy, I see you out there. That's my Cuddy star that's in here. But yes, please do not be shy. Please feel free to comment during these times. It is an open conversation, and then you will see the clean edited version posted on YouTube the following evening. All right, so obviously we're going to start with creation, and basically for this intro and this launching of Storytime with Cerise Bible story edition, I just wanted to kind of touch on, how I got here and to encourage you today as God is maybe allowing you to revisit certain things, but maybe with a new perspective. Maybe he's revitalizing that hope that may have gotten a little stale because you've been waiting and maybe you haven't been seeing movement. Maybe you feel like you're not hearing from him, or you're confused, or you just feel whatever that is. I love the story of God's creation. We many times kind of skip over that story. Okay, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Everything was void. Let me tell you, just right there alone, sometimes you just got to go back to having that blank slate. When you start to really feel like I am really confused, or I feel like I'm missing something, or I feel like that relationship that I had with God is feeling more complex, it's feeling more distant, it's feeling like I got to fight harder, I feel like I'm just not hitting the mark. Sometimes you just need a blank slate, because that's how God started with everything. Everything was void. There was a blank slate. And I just love that, because sometimes God is saying, it's okay to start over. And I think for some of us, we feel like it's giving up. You feel like you failed. He's like, no, I'm just going to give you an entirely new perspective, or an entirely new way to approach this thing, because the way you think you've been thinking and moving and living, it ain't it. And only you know that. You can front to the world, you can smile about it, you can laugh in public about it, but when we go to sleep and you close your eyes and you're the only one in here, you are the only one in here when you close your eyes, and something's off. I'm not really happy. And people think I am, right? But I'm not. I'm missing that joy. I feel like I'm losing hope. I'm feeling like I'm losing belief. And God is saying, "Ooh, before it gets any further than that, let's start over." Because I am the ultimate creator, and I can reestablish and reform the way you're seeing things, because many times it's just the way that you're seeing things and the way that you're thinking that has got your whole life just off. And sometimes he just wants to, and sometimes that takes a complete blank slate. You have to be able to let go of the way you think you figured everything out. Because in this world, okay, there's three things about the creation, and that's really what I want to leave you with. The three things about the creation is God created everything with value, purpose, and identity. Everything, the flowers, the animals, the dirt, the fish, the birds, everything to this day, which is like, come on. How is there not a God? Because the things that he has created with purpose and value and identity are still doing what they've been called to do over 2,000 years later. The birds still know how to make a nest, and they know how to fetch for food, and the grass is there for the animals. It's still under his command. Okay. And this is why my biggest thing about Bible stories is going back in time to prepare us for eternity. And I did this message about a year ago called Eternal Living, because so many of us have normalized living for the present. I just got to get what I got to get now. I just got to do what I got to do now. And we are missing the fact that our soul, our spirit man is like, hello in there. He's knocking like she's knocking like, hey, we've got a place to go. And I hope you know you're either building up or tearing down from our experience in eternity. Right? Yes, the Lord came if you're saved and you've got this wonderful relationship with God, but it doesn't just end with the relationship. His relationship and his love should move you to grow and to change and to experience and unlock his mysteries of today, not just live for today, right? To live for eternity. And the world today has normalized devaluing the things that he has created. People are devaluing relationships. People are devaluing marriage. People are devaluing friendship, community. People have devalued prayer and people have, even us as Christians, we've devalued the type of engagement we have with our Father, that we have with Jesus. We're like, all right, let me grab the Bible app. And this is no judgment. I'm speaking from experience. And we're reprioritizing things based off of what we need now, not eternity. And the world has also repurposed things and is normalizing that. So the thing that God created for a purpose, now the world is like, well, you can also do this with that. And you can also do this. And once you start kind of tainting a purpose, it becomes twisted and it no longer serves its purpose and it can no longer glorify God, right? And also identity. We already know with this world, people are losing who God has called them to be, even within the Christian community. People are losing the ability to say, that's not who I am. I'm going to rise above this. I'm going to figure out how to get around this. Lord, grant me the resources, whether it be therapy, whether it be a doctor. We talk about mental health a lot, whether it be just seeking more prayer, spending more time with you. People are losing their identity. People are going for the fame, the popular, the money, the finance. And so between value, purpose, and identity, this is where we're going with it. Every single Bible story has something to share. And it's something to share to prepare us for eternity. And it is something that we can apply just to our everyday lives. Okay? Because it's rough out here, y'all. It really is rough out here. So that's really where I want to encourage you guys. Just what this whole thing is with Storytime, with Sirece, with the Bible edition, and where we're going with it. And let me tell you, like in life, sometimes you just need a clean slate, just like it was in the beginning. You've got to allow God to reform the way you were approaching something. You're like, man, it's just not working. What I once was believing for and I was so hopeful for, I'm just like, maybe it's just. And he's like, why don't you just let's start over. In the beginning. In the beginning, I gave you a word. In the beginning, I planted a seed. In the beginning, I set you apart. But now I see that you've gone so far. You know how they say if you start a straight line, but if you just move a little bit this way, eventually you'll go so far off path. And he's like, let's just go back to the beginning. Oh, but I did all of this already. Let's go back to the beginning. And let me show you something new. A new perspective, a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching life, and watch new things unlock. All right? So that's what I'm super excited about. Like I said, these lives will be no longer than 20 to 30 minutes. That's all. I'm super excited about it. I can't begin to say how excited about it I am. But be encouraged today. Before we dive into our first story, next week will be all about the creation. Just be encouraged to be open to God completely shifting something. Don't be so stuck in your way or your way of thinking or how you've done things or the guards that you've put up or, like, I'm done with this. Nope. Don't be so stuck that you don't give God room enough to change something. Sometimes we put so many guards up that we actually block him out and we don't even realize that part. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, hey, I'm still out here. Can you just, I just need to. And then he starts to slowly ask us to do some of the hard things, which is to change some of the things that we've just been so, we grew up like this. Our background created us to be like this and think like this. And he's like, yeah, and I'm going to put it all together and work it all together for your good. But let me just change something. But you've got to be willing to first let it go. And y'all know I always talk about that picture of the little girl with the teddy bear, and Jesus is bending down to her, and he's like, let me get that. And she's like, but this is my teddy bear. I've had this forever. This is the thing that has kept me. This is the thing that has protected me, and it's my safe space. And he's like, but you just got to give it to me. But what she doesn't see is behind his back, he is holding a teddy bear 3 times as big, and it's brand new. Her teddy bear is ripped, it's got stains, it's been through it. And we hold on what we created around that teddy bear to protect us, to keep us, to just allow us to do what we got to do, right? To help us to not get hurt, to help us to not believe too much, because when you hope and you believe too much, that's a vulnerable place, right? And he's like, it's time to let that go because it's that thing that's actually holding you back. And he wants you to let it go before he shows you what he has for you. And that's what's called trust. Like he asked Peter to come out on the water. I would have been like, on the water? First of all, it's mad loud. It's a storm. So I'm already scared because they were all like, they were like, Jesus? Is that Jesus? It's like, huh? What? Get down. I don't know if I would have survived the Bible times. I would have been so upset so many times. Somebody's like, is that Jesus? And I'm like, what? I can't get down. The rain is coming. Who is that? I'm like, who is that out there? Go the other way. Go. I'm not the person that comes into the house and I'm like, hello. No, I don't want to find out who's standing out there in a storm on the water. Then he's like, come to me. And I'm like, once I've established, okay, it's Jesus. And I'm just like, is there something? Is there something under the water? Is there a, I was saying, is there something under the water? And that, God knows that's my issue. He will call me into something and I'm like, nice, nice. What's the plan for that? I'm very like, tell me who's all there before I go, right? Tell me what can I get out of it before I put in. And see, that's a whole different normalized thing. The world has taught us don't give. Don't put out unless you know you're getting back. And you start to protect yourself with that. And it's so funny because I was just listening to I've been listening to Lionheart Church. So good. Look them up on YouTube. I mean, just a whole thinking of living for eternity. And I was reading something and it was saying you don't sell the truth. Who God has created you, just trust the path that he's given you. And that's a vague statement. You don't, but I started to realize, okay, Lord, if you send me and I still don't know what it's gonna, what that means for me, I just trust that because you're sending me, you will take care of me. You will make a way and you will provide. So if you're asking me to come out on the water and you're telling me that there's not like a little board, maybe a board I can't see, is not, I just can't see it. Okay. But see, that's when the real power, you want to experience power, that's where it is. When you say, you know what, I'm going to step out. And lately, and sometimes it just takes time. I'm about to be 40. I know. I know. I know. I'm about to be 40 in 4 months. And I know y'all are going to be sick of me because y'all know that countdown is coming. But it's taken me 40 years really to just be like, okay, God, what you want me to do? Because I've learned. And even with Bible stories, that's the whole point. He'll go back and say, wait, I told y'all to do this and y'all are scared, but didn't you see that I parted the Red Sea yesterday? I'm like, the frustration that God was probably feeling because they're like, I don't know, Lord, I don't know where we're going to get our food from. This is the same God that took an ocean and parted the waters. I mean, to turn around and say, I don't know about the next problem is wild. But truthfully, that's what we do today, right? So be encouraged. Allow God to just clean it all up. Start fresh. If you feel like, and even if you don't feel like, okay, you may not need to go all the way back to the beginning, but maybe you need to erase some of the last few things that you've been approaching life in a certain way. And you know that because you can feel like something is off. You know, you be honest with yourself. You ain't gotta tell me, but you can tell God. So these are the things we're going to get into. We're going to talk about the story and we're going to talk about, some of the takeaways from the story and then just how you can apply it. And so my encouragement to you today, all right, is allow God to completely change the way you're thinking about this thing and start with one thing. It could be your attitude. I know I've been asking the Lord to help me respond to Persia. I call it a bad equation when I'm tired and she's tired. It's like 1 plus 1 equals I'm finna blow up on you. And the Lord has been, I've been asking him, help me to not get so reactive. Help me to get control of my emotions when, sometimes, Persia is pushing that button. And one of the things he revealed to me, see, we're going to talk all things. We're going to talk marriage, parenthood, dating. I mean, that's what I love about Bible stories. But the one thing he said to me is he erased all my thinking. I want to make sure I'm disciplining her, but I also want to make sure I'm showing love. He said the problem is you feel interrupted. And that's what kids do. They interrupt your normal way of your system. And this is how and yes, you want to keep them in line, but sometimes he said, let her interrupt. Stop getting so bothered that, oh, you're interrupting me talking. Oh, we got to go. You got to put this on. We got to go. We got to go. He says, stop rushing and stop being so mad that you're considering it an interruption. And when he shifted that perspective, I just erased everything that I had been doing because it wasn't working. Okay. And I was constantly feeling guilty that I either blew up on her or, reacted. Because there's a difference between discipline and just like, girl, get a hold of yourself, and mamas, y'all are superwomen. So I get it. We tired at all times. But all that to say is he shifted my perspective. I could have held on. Well, no, this is how I'm gonna get it done. This is how I'm gonna do it. This is who, you have heard people say, this is who I am. This is just who I am. Again, what happens in that place is you don't give God room. You have put so much up around your identity. You've created this new identity that works for you that you've actually pushed God out, right? So when we think about the beginning, sometimes we got to go back in order for him to recreate it in a way where you are no longer feeling off, but you're feeling that connection with him. You are reconnected to the source and the vine, and you're feeling that flow. All right. So, anyways, I'm super excited. Thank you guys for joining me live. Okay. We are gonna have a blast. And I'll be back next Friday live at lunchtime, just about 20 something minutes. It's been 27 minutes, but Daniel was interrupting me for those first 3 minutes and I had a string in my eye. So technically we'll probably hang around 20 to 25 minutes, but I'm super excited about this. You can catch this intro episode on YouTube. It'll be cleaned up so it won't have a lot of my my interruptions in there. And yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. If there's anything that stuck out to you in this message today, please let's continue the conversation below. Let's comment and I'll be posting some smaller clips. And yes, let the Lord do what he does. Sometimes you just need to start over. So thank you guys for joining me with Story Time with Sirece. Shout out to my Cuddy who was in the audience. Yes, who all gonna be there? Always. Every time God asks me to do something, I'm like, who's going to be there? What's going to be there? What's on the other side? What's on the other side? So, We'll be back. Thank you guys. Love you guys. I just want to pray for you. Thank you, Father, for this day. I thank you as we go into the weekend, Lord. I know there's many more distractions that we can just hone in on you. And if there's anything from this message that just stuck with someone, I pray that you just begin to highlight that and emphasize that and show them how to let go, and show them how to just embrace you. I thank you for your divine protection over your people. I thank you that we are following you, Lord, and hearing your voice more and more every day. We love you and we honor you in Jesus' name. Amen. Yes, Storytime with Sirece is going to come with a prayer at the end. So it is a good meal. Okay. All right, guys. I love you. Have a wonderful weekend. And again, check me out on YouTube. It is Sirece Thomas. So just go into YouTube, subscribe to my channel so that you can have the full video, and you will be seeing Storytime with Miss Reese coming for the Sunday school. Same story, but just shorter and for the kiddies, because you know we love the kiddies. Love you guys and have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye.